taking on a squad hoping to prevent another L this week, the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth by David Pollock and Jesse Palmer. And guys, let's get this thing started. Illinois will kick it off to get us underway. And he takes this from inside the 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. So Georgia Tech's offense will get the first crack at it here. And here he is, one of the best receivers in the game, and he just commands attention both from the defense and from the fans.
Yeah, he's a guy you got to keep your eye on, and you're going to see him line up all over the field in this game. He can play in the slot, he can play out wide, he can run the entire gamut in the route tree as well. Really nothing this guy can't do.
Here comes the offense on second down. He's looking to throw, trying to get to him. He's going to take off. That's what you expect from a senior. Don't give them any extra yards. Great tackle there. And to keep this opening drive going, they'll need to convert 3rd and 1. Linebackers trying to create some confusion. They were all over him, nowhere to go as that 3rd down play turned into a disaster. And the Yellow Jackets line up to punt it away. First time we've seen their punt team this afternoon. Fields the punt and looking for daylight. That nifty return sets up the offense and negates some of the yardage on the punt. So Illinois' offense will go to work for the first time today. Here are our impact players for this game, and it goes beyond executing an assignment to make an impact in the game.
Yeah, obviously we were talking to both coaching staffs this week, and we asked them who needs to step up and play well. They immediately pointed to these guys right here. They are the key for their respective teams.
Yeah, and they don't always show up in the box score, but these are the guys that are the leaders. These are the guys getting everybody organized and have to play well for their team to succeed.
After getting knocked back to open this drive, it's 2nd and 12. Fullback's got it. And they're able to get him down.
I love it. What a play call. Going to the fullback in the running game, and he shows you that he's got some ability. This guy was a big-time high school running back, and he shows you the wiggle. He's got some ability to break tackles, and he helps his offense out.
Firing to the right, complete. And they'll finally bring him down after he rips off a huge play.
I know it's early in the game, but defensively after that play, you know you have to tackle the catch. When this guy gets the ball in his hands, he is so dangerous after the fact. So it's okay for him to make catches. You just got to get him to the ground quickly.
And this sophomore able to wreak some havoc and get the sack.
That is a nice job by the defense in a sudden change type situation. The play before, you just gave up a big completion down the field. So you got to try to stop the bleeding right away up front.
He can't corral the pitch. The ball's on the ground. He's got the ball, and he'll try to pick up a few.
Woo. Deep breath, right? Man, you fumble that thing, you cough it up, you're like, oh, I really appreciate you, brother. I can't tell you how much I thank you because the coaches would have been all over me, but big-time break for the offense.
Quarterback changing the plays at the line. On 3rd and long, he's going to have to turn one loose downfield. Fires and picked off. And he's wrapped up after a solid return on the pick.
Now, teams that play cover one at an elite level have an elite guy in the middle of the field, but he's playing zone, everybody else playing man, and he can cover so much ground. You watch him run, he breaks on the football when he needs to, goes and makes the big interception.
I like this guy as a running back because he can run between the tackles and he can also go outside. He can really do it all.
They'll go right back to him. Defense closed down quickly after a gain of 3. They'll mark it at the 32.
I like feeding my guy. I like getting my running back touches, feeding the ball so he can break some of those big runs. But I'm also okay with these little ones. Set the tone, stay balanced.
And that's incomplete. A defender all over him. Knocked the ball to the ground. 4th down coming up. The Yellow Jackets will punt this one away. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. Slips through the line. They'll wrap him up and bring him down, and that's how we'll wrap up the first quarter. Defense has dominated the early part of this game, and the stats point that out emphatically. Sometimes you see the offenses sort of settle in, find areas to probe after that first quarter. First down to start the drive after the break. Looking to move it through the air. That, friends, is a busted play. Incomplete. Sometimes people say, if you're good enough, what's the big deal about going on the road? Well, if you're not careful, you might find out in a spot like this one, guys.
Yeah, no doubt about it. This is a hostile environment, and you know you're going to be getting the opponent's A game for this one. They've circled this one all offseason, so they better be ready to bring it today, David.
And the hardest thing to do in college football is to go on the road. Everything about it changes, and you want to shut this crowd up early. You don't want to give them belief, because if it starts to build throughout the game, look out.
They've got some work to do on this 3rd and long from the 40. He'll toss it. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one.
Defense is about firing off, getting the offensive guys and staying in their gaps. Everybody knowing where they're supposed to be. You could tell the defense, everyone was right where they're supposed to be, nowhere to run.
Not going to get a chance to field that one, and the punt will bounce out of bounds. Georgia Tech has the ball back, and here comes the Yellow Jacket offense. David, the punter got some work last time. They'd like to keep him on the sidelines in this drive.
Yeah, it's not something you want to say very often. You don't want the punter out there. This offense needs to get back lathered up and get a little bit more of a rhythm.
Best way to do that, identify where your best players are and just get them the football. Give these guys some touches to kickstart this offense.
And he'll step across the sidelines after making a good gain on that one. Now here on 2nd down, see if they keep tossing it around. The give to the lone running back. And he's tripped up, but not before picking up the first down.
Look, at first you don't succeed, try again, right? It's been really hard for this offense in this game to run the football, but they finally break off a big run there. That could be the play they need to really generate momentum and get this run game going.
Just broke the tackle and still on his feet. He's all the way down to the 3. Showed it all on that run.
Well, there's a big run on offense, and guys, I don't think a defender even touched him anywhere near the line of scrimmage. That's how big that hole was.
He'll do it himself. He pushes it forward all the way to the 2-yard line.
Yeah, and it's a nice job by this defense. Understand, listen, that QB is a threat, and they're going to run all kinds of options. He's going to run the football. They were dialed in and got that sucker to the ground.
And maybe they want to try somewhere else because there is nothing doing in the middle of this defense. After getting nothing on the last play, will they try to throw it into the end zone on 3rd down? Trying to barge in. Just hammer it with this running back again, and he noses his way into the end zone.
And I love it. I love the physicality of this offense. It's 3rd and goal. I trust my offensive line to pave the way, give the ball to my running back, and know he's going to physically punch this thing into the end zone.
He'll try to tack on one more. And the extra point is good, and it's 7-0. And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
Arguably the game of the week, fellas, with 2 top 25 teams locking horns. Penn State is ahead early at Happy Valley, but that's not exactly Saquon out there. This game is a long way from being over. They're up by 7 over Texas Tech. For now, it's back to you fellas, but of course, if anything changes, you'll see it right here.
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. Toss sweep to the left. Get some work done there. Pick up a 4 to the 22. While the Big Ten has expanded with this massive continent-wide geographical footprint, the Big 12 has been really shrewd in positioning and maneuvering for survival, and they look for opportunities to win on the field like they'll have today.
Yeah, and the Big Ten's kind of taking what the Big Ten wants and expanding and not really worried about anybody else. So if I'm the Big 12, I'm like, yeah, you ain't worried about me, but you're going to worry about me today and on the field, and I can make a statement and prove to some of the true blue bloods in the Big Ten.
I just love the stylistic matchup in this one too, right? You think about the Big Ten running the football, defense, physical, and then Big 12 wide open, up-tempo.
Gonna take a shot. Catch in stride inside the 15. Touchdown Illini. And once he got loose, it was all over.
Number 12.
Yeah, and the passing game comes through, man, and we need more of that in the second half. An extra point away from tying this football game. You trailed a little bit in the first half, stayed calm. If this passing game can continue to heat up, look out in the second half.
On the move from inside his 5.
Returner is brought down at the 18. And your Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets will
The Georgia Tech offense rolls back onto the field. How about that blocking up front and that running game last time as they just walked it down for a touchdown, David?
And the big boys up front doing their job, opening holes, the backs making plays, everything on the ground on that first drive worked.
And we know that this is the identity this coaching staff wants for this team, right? They want to be the most physical team on the field. Let's see if they can keep it up.
And you see those balls in practice sometimes. They're just off the mark. And you don't know how to control it. You don't know what goes wrong. But sometimes QBs miss, and it's an incompletion.
Couldn't connect on first down. Now back to the air. Or did he find a hole in that secondary? All kinds of running room. Inside the 10. And he ran away from the crowd, and he'll take it in. Touchdown, Georgia Tech!
Speed kills this offense. They've got multiple guys that can burn you. You can see it doesn't take them long to light up the scoreboard.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And the extra point is true, and they're on top by 7. This offense prides itself on going after you, and they did with that long touchdown pass to finish off a 2-play drive. He'll bring it out. It's Addison. I know he thinks he can house every return, but sometimes you just have to take a knee as he stopped at the 14. First snap of this drive will come from inside the 15 at their own 14-yard line. They're bringing heat. They'll throw it to the back on the screen. Not a whole lot of room there on that screen pass as it just never developed. Got the completion on the last play. Still some work to do on second down. To throw, it's Schmidt. Fires to the wideout. He's got an open man. A timeout is called as this offense tries to find a way to get more points on the board before the half.
When you play zone coverage and you got a wide receiver that's a beast, it becomes very, very difficult. Got to make sure I play physical and maybe even shade the side of the wide receiver having a lot of success.
They'll throw it on first down. Starting to feel a little pressure. Going to try to get it himself. He goes out of bounds after a solid gain on the play. This offense has a second down play. He's looking to throw. Lets it go. Not in lockstep there with the receiver. Just shy of midfield at the 47. The defense needs a third down stop. They'll try to get the first through the air. Got his man in the middle. We got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. Third down, a lot of times it comes down to not necessarily who's the most open, who do you trust the most?
No, it's not about the X's and the O's. It's about the Jimmies and the Joes. And when my guy's better than you and I...
A shot toward the end zone. The pass falls incomplete, and there are 8 seconds left.
I know that shot down the field was incomplete. But but you got to keep taking shots. Those receivers love to go deep. It gives them a breath of fresh air. They get more excitement. They're going to the quarterback with a little bit more juice because you know you're feeding them. So I would keep taking deep shots down the field.
Looking to pass on second down. Throws to the wideout. And he intercepts it. And they make the play to stop the scoring opportunity just before the end of the half.
Man, what a great break on the football. Nice job seeing it, squeezing. A lot of those defensive guys, man, they don't have great hands all the time. But you always remember your first interception. They'll always remember this moment.
Looking to go up top on first down. Lofts one high and deep. Pass is incomplete, and half comes to a close on that play. That's going to wrap up the first half here, and now we join Kevin with the halftime update.
All right, guys, looks like we've got a great game day atmosphere today in Atlanta. Talk about a first half from that dude out of the backfield. He's been a total game changer. And how many top plays moments have we seen on missed tackles alone? Video game moves from one of the shiftiest players in all of college football. With that said, let's send it back to the fifth oldest venue in college football, Bobby Dodd Stadium.
Here comes the Illini offense back onto the field. Tight game as we start the third quarter, and we'll see what type of adjustments they made at halftime.
And getting the ball first here, I think, is such a big deal. Like, I get the first chance to make a statement, to make the adjustments, to create some momentum for my squad right here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I think it's so important for this offense to set the tone here early in the second half, to get a nice drive going, build that confidence, and get your defense ready to come on out, get a stop, and change the complexity of this game.
He will step out of bounds, but not before the big pickup and a first down for this offense.
And there was no question in that scenario. That's where the quarterback was going. He knew he had his receiver in a matchup that he liked, running a route where he would find himself open. Nice job between those two.
Quarterback just flat missed it. Incomplete. After the quarterback and receiver couldn't connect, it's 2nd and 10. Pre-snap motion, quarterback trying to get a read. To the air, it's Schmidt. That pass is incomplete, and they're probably fortunate that it wasn't knocked free for a fumble. They line up with some serious work to do if they want to convert this one. They're going to throw it again. Pressure coming. Stands in and takes the hit. And he throws his third pick of the day. His head has to be spinning. He couldn't quite get loose on that return, but he'd already made the play, and they've got it at the 35. The Ramblin' Wreck offense rolls back onto the field. Wants to throw on first down. Caught over the middle. It's Slater. And the defense makes the immediate tackle, but he has enough for the first down.
Well, these wide receivers work the middle of the field. So much of this is feel. Understanding where the holes are in the zone, or understanding how to get leverage on a man. And these wide receivers are dangerous nowadays because they do it so fast and see that so quick and make those plays over the middle.
The back goes in motion. Going up top on first down. Swings it out to his running back. And a quick completion, an even quicker loss. The defense was right there to knock him down. They'll line up for a second down play. He's looking to throw. Receiver looks it in. It's complete. And they exploited that soft spot. They get it down to the 35. And the Yellow Jackets racing to the line in a hurry up. From the gun, the ground game. He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple.
And a great job by the linebacker. You could tell starting to crowd the line of scrimmage, get up there in the line of scrimmage, see it, diagnose it, get in the backfield, get the running back on the ground for the tackle for the loss.
And just a short and safe pass play, they pick up a few.
I like the decision by the quarterback here. Just get the ball out of your hands, get it to your playmaker. A lot of times he'll dance and make even bigger plays than he did here, but it was still a positive game.
Quarterback feeling that pressure, and he's knocked down at the 42.
All right, well, that QB knows he now has to get the ball out of his hands quick because that defensive end turned the corner fast.
The Yellow Jackets will try to pin them back with the punt. And the return man will have no chance as the ball sails out of bounds. The Illinois offense returns to the field. Mistakes are going to happen, as they did on that last drive. Now, how will they respond, Jesse?
And this is the kind of guy who's going to take full accountability. That was my bad. That's on me. I'm about to lead this offense now down the field to score some points.
Dang, I wish I would have played with you. I didn't play with many quarterbacks that were just like, yeah, my bad. Hey, guys, I got this. Sorry about that. It was more, you should have ran a better route.
Got his man in the middle. And they finally haul him down, but not before the good catch and run. They'll snap this one from the 42. It's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, they give to the back. As they get set to snap it, time winding down here in the quarter. Looking to pass, it's Schmidt. It's complete to the right. There to make the stop, and we played 3 in this one. Guys, we've reached the end of the quarter, and Georgia Tech has the lead. They've done the work to build a nice cushion. Now to bring it home as we check out the stats after 3 quarters. One more period to go to see who can make the winning plays and come home with the victory. They've changed ends of the field, now facing 3rd down as they go back to work. He'll ride his man on the option. Now the pitch. And they'll ride him down, but not before he picked up the first down. And how about the timing on that pitch? Illinois moving it quickly down the field. He's going to pass. Got it set up on the outside. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
Nice job, defense. You always hear people talk about tackling the catch. You saw it right there. There was nowhere for that receiver to go once he had possession. As a result, no gain.
They'll run the option. Quick toss. Got room at the 35. Perfectly timed on that pitch, and they pick up the first down on the play. Big drive for this offense late, trying to tie the game. They pieced together a couple of first downs, and here they come again. Can't hold on. He had it right down the middle, and he flat dropped it.
What a hit by the defender. That's a good throw, and that was going to be caught, but how about the defender dislodging the football from its intended target? Nice job.
Caught behind the line. It's Galladay. They get him down after he makes the catch.
This quarterback right now is in a groove, and he's doing a nice job in pre-snap. He's reading the coverage, and he's getting an idea of where he wants to go with the football. That's why the ball's coming out of his hands so quickly, and that's why he seems like he's in a great rhythm right now.
Steamrolls his way ahead. And he's knocked down, but not before moving the chains. Illinois coming out with a 1st and 10.
Well, that's kind of the advantage of 3rd and medium, right? Is the defense, you keep them guessing. You can throw it, you can run it. That time they hand it off and pick it up.
Yeah, and you can see the D drop back a little bit. It creates a little bit of space. The running back blasts through, gets the first down.
After misfiring, it's 2nd down. Looking downfield, it's Schmidt. Release to the back. It's caught. And he'll run it into the end zone. Touchdown, Illinois. They'll try to tack one more on their score. And the extra point was good, and we are all tied up in the 4th. They put it in the end zone with a 12-play scoring drive. And the capper, a 19-yard toss for the touchdown. Here he comes from inside his own 5. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. Georgia Tech has the ball back, and here comes the Yellow Jacket offense. That last drive won't go on the highlight reel after ending in a punt. They'd like to be more productive this time, David.
And I think this offense has to be a little bit more balanced. Find a little balance between the run, Jesse, and working in that pass.
And I think, too, David, it's just going to take a spark. It just takes one play to get this thing picked up and going.
Quick release by the QB. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
Really good defense. You know, you're trying to stay as close as you can to all these targets, and most importantly, those open field tackles and getting them on the ground as soon as they catch it. That's a major deal for defenses, and that was a good example there of it.
Not exactly the ideal situation for this offense. 3rd and long, backed up inside their 20. From the gun, wants to pass. Unloads to the wideout. All kinds of room to throw that one in there. That is exactly what you're looking for when you talk explosive plays. The defense finally able to make the stop. To the air on 1st down. Snags it over the middle. And good coverage by the defense, just a short gain. Clock is still running, and they have to get everybody lined up. And the pressure will get there. The sack. Down he goes in the waiting moments. That could be a costly play. On 3rd and long, doesn't need to take the check down. He finds his man. And he's not going to make it. The defense denying him the 1st down. And the Yellow Jackets will send out the punt unit. 4th time tonight we've seen this guy come on to punt. And the punt hits at the 8 and goes into the end zone for the touchback. Here comes the Illini offense back onto the field. There's enough time to get the ball down the field here, David, but you've got to make sure you're efficient and avoid mistakes.
Yeah, and those 2-minute drills, you always talk about the first down, Jesse. Get that first down, stop the clock, get some momentum going on offense.
Yeah, and good decision-making by the quarterback, too, right? You don't have to be greedy in this situation. Just take what the defense gives you and get yourself in position to win.
To the air, it's Schmidt. Pocket starts to collapse. And he can't find anyone open, and down he goes. A sack here late in the 4th. You make up the game plan and not a lot on the play sheet for this. 3rd and long from inside their own 20. From the gun, wants to pass. Fires to the wideout. And this is going to be incomplete on 3rd.
Well, they're trailing in this game late. The defense knows it, so they're playing for packs. 2 plays ago, they get the sack. This time, they force an incompletion. Not a lot the offense can do here to catch them off guard. They're just going to have to make a huge play here on 4th down.
The Georgia Tech offense rolls back onto the field. Now, they need to pick up just a few more yards here to get within the kicker's range, David.
No doubt, Reese. We got to take care of the football, but we're trying to get as many yards as we can. Jesse, let's make this thing as easy as possible on our kicker.
You're right. And listen, you've got some time, too, so you don't got to panic here. Just pick the right play and go execute.
He's looking for an open man on 2nd down. Pulls it in. They get him down at the 34-yard line. Give him 15 yards on the pickup and a 1st down. Timeout is called. Clock stops. 13 seconds to go in the game. Maybe this will breathe a little life into this offense, which has been flatlined in the 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. Single back formation, and they give it to him. Really nice stop there from this senior leader. They'll call timeout with 9 seconds left on the clock. And it looks as if they're going to try a field goal. From right in the center of the field, straight on to win the game. Never a doubt for this big-footed guy. 49-yard field goal is good.
It is a nerve-wracking feeling as a football player when the game comes down to your kicker. And he has to come through, and Palmer, he comes through with flying colors.
And you know in college football, no field goal is automatic. But there's no college kicker situation here. He drills that right through the uprights. And David, it looks like his team's getting the dub.
That late clutch field goal put them on top. They can almost taste victory if they can keep them from scoring to tie or win the game. From inside the 10, here he comes. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. They've got to move quickly here. Still a chance, but they've got to force the ball down the field. Off-play action on first down. And down he goes. Had a chance to pull one out of the fire, and the defense slammed the brakes on it, and that's going to do it. You know, there's no real reason to panic, but if you think about it, when does panicking ever really help? But certainly this was a bitterly disappointing outcome.
And you can look at a lot of different statistics, and I know we tend to overcomplicate college football these days, but guys, at the end of the day, it comes down to two very simple things. You can't turn the ball over, and you can't have penalties. You do those things, David, and it'll beat you every time.
That's the difference between winning and losing. It's the small things, but find those things that you need to improve on. Keep working on them. Keep developing. Those things you do well, let's do those. Let's do more of those things more consistently.
So that's going to do it for us. For Jesse Palmer, David Pollack, I'm Reese Davis saying so long. This has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.